Hey Buns, you know, people often ask me if they should buy a skip from the Mog Station. That's either a level skip, which will boost one of your jobs to 70, or a story skip, which finishes expansion story content for you. Everyone has an opinion on this, and I'm no different. In the past, I have told people, no, you shouldn't pay money to not play the game you bought. Like, to me, that's like buying a Big Mac with no Mac in it. But if you are right now suffering through Realm Reborn's notorious slog, that is like the 100 or so quests before Heavensward, and you hate it and you're about ready to quit, like in that case, just buy the skip. Alternatively, you could wait till 5.3, which is the next upcoming content patch, when they are going to release a revamp of Realm Reborn. They're going to be deleting a bunch of filler quests that nobody liked, adding flying in the old world zones, and it should suck way less. We're expecting 5.3 for July or August. It's been delayed because of the illness, which I think I can say without getting demonetized.
5.3 will also likely add Realm Reborn to New Game Plus, which lets you replay story as if it's your first time doing it.
So like I plan to replay Shadowbringers once I'm ready to get hurt again. As for the level skips, yes, you'll get a job at level 70, but all of your new skills might be overwhelming, especially if you're new. You'll also miss out on the job quest stories, which are not available in New Game Plus. I mean, you can watch cutscenes in the inn, but it's not the same. I mean, it's like the difference between going to FanFest in person and watching a digital FanFest at home, because they canceled FanFest. But all that advice is my own opinion, shaped by my own experiences and preferences. Like, the Realm Reborn grind didn't really bother me that much. Maybe because I know what it's like to kill 6,000 boars for 7 Gore-Tusk livers. What works for me might not work for you. So to not make this video too one-sided, I asked you if you had ever bought a skip and regretted it or not. Lots of y'all feel really strongly about this, because to some, skips of any kind feel sort of like cheating. Story skipping is blasphemy. The idea of someone using a skip for their first character horrifies me. No, never. Would never. If you got skip, you are a weak casual. Many have this attitude of skips, not even once, and are proud to have never used one. They see the Realm Reborn slog as a rite of passage that lets you in on the joke of pray return to the waking sands. Probably the least controversial use of a skip would be for an alt character, because it's not really skipping if you've already done the content. People said that the 7th Astral Slog, which is the 100 quests before Heavensward I mentioned earlier, has no replay value. If I sat through R patch quests again, I would lose my will to keep going. And yeah, I'm going to call it R because it's easier. Alts are not very important in 14 because you can play all jobs on one character, but one guy told me he has 10 boosted alts. Which was crazy. Others have friends on other data centers to keep them engaged. Get it? Because they got married. Anyways, half the people who bought skips for alts never touch the alts again. Danmo said that it's still nice to have the option to play on other data centers though, and I agree. I boosted a evil bun on Primal. But after what you've just heard me say about people not wanting to replay the 100 quest hell of Realm Reborn, you can see why people are tempted to skip it the first time on their main. I'm currently chugging through Post R at level 56 and honestly feel like most of these quests have been totally not relevant. The 100 plus quest line connecting Realm Reborn to Heavensward, I just said Realm Reborn. Connecting Realm Reborn to Heavensward burnt me out so bad that I quit. When my friends hit the Realm Reborn wall and asked, should I just pay to skip all this? My answer was always no, because I thought they'd enjoy it eventually, but they all quit before even hitting Heavensward. I should have said, yeah, maybe they'd still be around. The fact is, the story skip for Realm Reborn saved many people's interest in the game. People who were on the verge of quitting because they just couldn't take it anymore didn't, because they got a skip. I hit a mental wall, and I'm glad I skipped to Heavensward so I didn't abandon the game. I'm now replaying the story on an alt. Of those who did replay R on an alt, many were glad they skipped it the first time. While I plan on playing the New Game Plus for Realm Reborn, which is coming in 5.3, as I said before, skipping it was the best thing I'd ever done. I'm actually enjoying the game again. So while many were glad they skipped Realm Reborn, especially the post-game slog of it, people were more regretful about skipping other expansions. I regretted my skip a lot when I reached Shadowbringers. Just a ton of people I don't know referencing things I don't know. I skipped to Stormblood trying to catch up, and now, replaying on an alt, I regret it. Yes, you can watch cutscenes on YouTube or play through it later on New Game Plus, but one person said that it would have been better doing it the first time round. because some of the stuff felt like it lost its impact since I knew the outcome. I bought skips to get to rating, but later playing story on an alt discovered 14 has lots more to offer than rating. My husband bought one to catch up to me. We hated and regretted it, and we left the game because he had no interest and wasn't invested. We started over and leveled together, and our experience was 10 times better in spite of needing to go through Realm Reborn. I heard several stories like that, people quitting because they skipped and weren't invested, then came back, leveled normally, and had a better time. One player manually levels with friends through the rough patch of Realm Reborn so they don't give up. Not all heroes wear capes. A word of caution though. If you are thinking of skipping the post-Realm Reborn slog, make sure you are not 3 quests away from getting out of it. Do your research, folks. As for the level skips, here is the most common regret. What do these buttons even do? I regret boosting Dragoon. I had no idea what I was doing. Well, that might be normal for a Dragoon. The beginning White Mage levels felt slow, so I gave in, but it was ability overload hell. I didn't have the confidence that would come from learning a class slowly. Many regretted not learning their jobs naturally, level by level. Being a new player without leveling is a drag. You don't build a relationship with your character. I missed out on the job story experience. And by the way, everyone talks about the Dark Knight story, but I cried during the Stormblood White Mage story, which nobody told me was good. So don't just listen to what people tell you is a good story. You never know what you will like that other people didn't as much, okay? Being overwhelmed with all the level 70 skills appearing at once actually led some to abandon their boosted job. Monk still 70, White Mage 70, Ninja still 60. Like, buying a skip just hands you your job skills and gear and assumes you know what the you're doing. Some do, but way too many don't. Don't buy a skip because you won't know what a stack is. So all that sounds really negative, right? And I said I didn't want to be one-sided. So what about those who are glad they boosted? I've bought at least 6 level skips. Most early levels are boring for me, and I want to get to the more fun rotations. Several of y'all said that jobs are boring under 60, more fun over 70. Some got a skip after getting tired of Deep Dungeon, which, look, Bunce, that is not the only way to level, okay? Like, spamming it is a very quick way to get burnt out. I don't recommend it.
Deep Dungeon is like Mikote Voice 5. Okay in small doses, but just unbearable otherwise.
Some of y'all are just flat out lazy, like couldn't be arsed to level White Mage. Some are busy with like a 5-year-old sitting right next to him and need to save time. Those who were happy with their boost tended to make sure that they were comfortable with their job before inflicting themselves on others. I put some time and practice in and learned easily. I was extremely confused and overwhelmed after I skipped, but I made a chart for myself of all the astrologing cards and buffs. Basically, they took the time to learn the dang job, okay? Please do that if you skip. They asked for help. I cleared the Savage tier on the job I boosted. Best idea ever. So it's possible to learn, but you will have to put in a little effort to do so. Remember also that if you buy a level skip but not a story skip, there is no content you can do at the boosted level till you catch up to that level of story quests. So a level boost can allow you to solo literally everything up to Stormblood and focus on story without being interrupted by leveling. Someone bought a skip because they wanted to play Gunbreaker, but it's one of those jobs you need a level 60 job to unlock it. Bought one for Bard so I could play music in towns. Now I don't know how to play Bard or music. What I'm saying is I'm bad with money. Don't you mean Bard with money? So while after hearing from y'all, I've realized that there are more legitimate reasons to buy a skip than I'd previously conceived of, I still strongly feel that, as one of you pointed out, it's all about the journey, not the destination.
For me, I love the hero's journey where you start from humble beginnings and you have to fight tooth and nail, working your way up from there. To me, that's way more interesting than breaking out the credit card. Like, imagine if Luke had bought a skip and started out at insane power levels, no Master Yoda training needed. You know, that would be less interesting for sure.
While it's fine to be proud of yourself for never using a skip if you're a purist about that kind of thing, I don't think it's justified ever to be rude or condescending to other players who did use one for whatever reason. It's not helping anyone, because in a lot of these cases that I've seen, a skip stopped a player from quitting the game altogether. And most of the time, after they got invested, they went back and actually went through the story that they missed. I hope this video helped you better understand the pros and cons of buying a skip and whether it's going to be right for your particular situation, whether some of the difficulties you may face, some of the downsides, and of course, looking ahead to 5.3, knowing that Realm Reborn revamp is just around the corner. So with that, Buns, I hope you found this video helpful. If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow Warriors of Darkness. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!